Hello students, today let's understand an interesting concept from the chapter Human Health and Diseases. We will talk about immunity. Now every day we are exposed to different kinds of antigens, but not all of them will be able to form a disease in our body. This is because we have an inherent ability in our body to protect us from different antigens which are entering into the body, and this is called immunity. Immunity in our body is of two types called innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity, or otherwise called inborn immunity, is a non-specific type of immunity which provides different kinds of barriers from different types of antigens or different types of foreign microorganisms. This includes physical barriers like skin, physiological barriers like stomach having acid and saliva inside the mouth. We have cellular barriers like the white blood cells and neutrophils. We have cytokine barriers where we see the action of interferons. Acquired immunity is what a person acquires throughout their lifespan, and it is highly specific. Every time a person is infected or he is exposed to any antigen, we see that the body will give a primary response, and there is also production of specific memory cells remembering the disease-causing microorganism. Now, if the same person is exposed to the same microorganism again, we see that the body will give a highly efficient secondary response, also called anamnestic response. Now, this is because of the presence of memory cells, the body is able to act quickly. So, in acquired immunity, we see that B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes are the major force which are driving two types of immunity called humoral immunity, or also called antibody-mediated immunity, and cell-mediated immunity. In antibody-mediated immunity, we see that B lymphocytes are responsible to produce certain proteins which can eliminate the disease-causing antigens. Whereas in cell-mediated immunity, we see that the T lymphocytes have different types called cytotoxic T cells, suppressor T cells, and specific memory T cells, which are responsible to help in the production of antibodies, but they will not produce antibodies. So acquired immunity has two further types called active immunity and passive immunity. Active immunity is when a host is developing a natural infection and there's production of antibodies and memory cells, giving a person active immunity. Now this process is slow and can be either artificial or natural. Natural active immunity, we see that a person is generally infected by an organism and there's production of antibodies and memory cells, like in the case of smallpox or measles infection. Whereas artificial active immunity is when a person is induced by vaccines, where we see that a live, attenuated, or a dead microorganism is injected into a person so that there can be a primary response. Now, we have passive immunity, where there is direct injection of the antibodies instead of allowing the body to form antibodies and memory cells. Now, this process is faster, but we see that it is not long-lived. And passive immunity can also be artificial or natural. Now, in natural passive immunity, we see that a lactating mother will produce immunoglobulin A-rich yellowish fluid called colostrum, which is directly given to the growing baby. And also, during the gestation period, immunoglobulin G can easily cross the placenta, which is giving immunity to the growing fetus. Talking about artificial passive immunity, there are injections for snakebite like anti-venom, and for tetanus like anti-serum injections, which are directly giving antibodies so that they can subside the condition. Hence, we've understood an overview on immunity. Make your concepts stronger and stay ahead in your learning journey. Join me and other subject experts on the Turito app for daily free concept classes. Download the app now.